don't think he can beat me running, but I do think that he's going to run some.
Well, I thought he was the best fighter in the world. He was just a complete thug, a killer.
Liston's an 8-to-1 favorite, and many experts think that's giving Clay the benefit of the doubt.
I'm young, I'm handsome, I'm fast, I'm pretty, and can't possibly be beat.
You might be young and handsome, but you won't be after I finish with you.
You're 40 years old if a day, and you don't belong in the ring with Cassius Clay.
No, I shouldn't, because it'd be a disgrace to see the people, let the people see me kill you like I am.
Milt Bailey was a longtime cornerman for the champion, Sonny Liston.
Sonny figured that he was a loud-mouthed kid trying to build his ego up because we figured he was scared to death. And that was the attitude the whole camp had, that Cassius Clay was scared to death. And that it would only be a matter of time before Sonny stopped him from talking.
If they put a mouthpiece in his mouth where he can't talk, I'm going to kill him.
This is the site of the training camp for the champion, Sonny Liston. We're in the town of Surfside, located on Miami Beach. And this is where this intimidating man prepared for what he envisioned to be just another easy payday. Freddie, as you think back to the days of Sonny Liston, what stands out in your mind, and what do you remember most about his training procedures?
The thing I remember most is the leisurely, almost cavalier way that Sonny Liston was training for this fight. He had a record night train that was a slow blues that he did everything to. And the respectful crowd hushed as Sonny trained, would wait for his finished punchline, which was always the same every day. I don't know what I'm training this hard for. I'm going to knock this kid out in one round.
He could play that whole record and never miss a beat. He was so powerful. Honest to God, when he jabbed you, it was the same as punching somebody, you know?
That's it.
The best sparring partner he had, if you remember, was Amos Lincoln. And he hit Lincoln with a shot, and Lincoln's helmet flew off. And we thought his head had flew off, you know?
Liston basically depended on intimidation. When he fought, he basically intimidated the opponent. They were intimidated before they even got in the ring. He was a massive guy, and on all circuits, he was just utterly awesome. And plus, he punched. And basically, when he fought somebody like Muhammad Ali, who wasn't intimidated, he became intimidated.
I am the greatest.
His corner, and I was struck by his athleticism, by his charisma, and by the blinding faith that he had that he could not be beaten.
For those of you who won't be able to see the Clay Liston fight, here's the 8th round exactly as it will happen. Clay comes out to meet Liston, and Liston starts to retreat. If Liston goes back an inch farther, he'll end up in the ringside seat. Clay swings with his left. Clay swings with his right. Look at young Cassius carry the fight. Liston keeps backing, but there's not enough room. It's a matter of time. And Clay lowers the boom. Now Liston disappears from view. The crowd is getting frantic, but our radar stations have picked him up. He is somewhere over the Atlantic. Liston is still rising, and the ref wears a frown, but he can't start counting till Sonny comes down. Who would have thought when they came to the fight that they'd witness the launching of a human satellite? Yes, the crowd did not dream when they put down their money that they would see a total eclipse of the sun.
Angelo Dundee was Clay's trainer then, as he would be for the next 21 years.
Cassius Clay, you got to remember, is the greatest fighter that ever lived, in and out of the ring. He changed the whole innovation of boxing. He was the first available superstar.
Oh, I thought he was a very promising, sort of a puffed-up light heavyweight at the time. I had no dreaming idea that he could win that fight. I didn't give him a chance in hell.
Well, annihilation is on. I'm so happy. Let's get it on. Want to go now? I'll look you now.
The crowd ain't big enough yet.
Paul Thomas was so scared, he couldn't even walk. Man, I ain't scared. I'll come to your house at 2 o'clock in the morning looking for you. I ain't scared of nobody. It's going to be a hard. It's going to take a good man to whoop me. You look at me, I'm loaded with confidence. I can't beat me. I had 180 amateur fights, 22 professional fights, and I'm pretty as a girl. I don't get hit. Like, I don't get hit, I'm so pretty.
So that's what I'm afraid of.
From the luxury of Sonny Liston's Surfside camp some 100 blocks away to the squalor of South Beach and the shabby confines of the 5th Street Gym, it was an exuberant Cassius Clay who trained and entertained. Freddie, what were those days like?
Well, this place was like a zoo. It'd fill up wall to wall. Entertainers, people from Motown like Sam Cooke, writers like Norman Mailer, painters like Leroy Neiman, even 4 guys from across the Atlantic. The Beatles showed up one day, and they would all wait patiently for Ali to be through training. Then all of a sudden, you'd see Ali look for Drew Brudini Brown, who was his confidant, his corner man, and his cheerleader. They would begin a chant. They would begin to joke around, and before you knew it, it was full-blown showtime.
You know how great I am. I don't have to tell you about my strategy. Let my trainer tell you. Bodini, come here. Bodini, tell him, what are we going to do? You're going to float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. Rumble, young man, rumble. That's what we're going to do. You heard it. That's my trainer. He'll tell you.
Cassius Clay said to me, Angelo, I got a surprise for you. I said, what's that? He said, I'm going to bring Drew Brown here. I said, don't do that. The guy will drive me up a wall. Don't do that. I begged him not to bring him. So he brought, no, he won't get in your way, Aunt. Don't worry about it. He's a nice guy. He's a lot of fun. So he brought him, and he was right. Drew was great. Drew added something to Muhammad. He added a new dimension. Kept him loose as a goose. He was loose anyhow. But Drew added something. Drew was a very important facet of Muhammad Ali's life.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Cassius Marcellus Clay. He's young, he's handsome.
They know it.
He's a poet, and many people believe he'll be the next heavyweight champion of the world. Cassius, can I ask you how you're feeling now at this point in your training?
I'm feeling great. I'm ready to go to war right now.
Well, when you say you're ready to go to war right now...
I see that barrel in the street, I beat him before the fight.
You'd actually take him on before the fight?
Beat him like I'm his daddy.
I saw Sonny Liston a few days ago, Cassius.
Ain't he ugly? He's too ugly to be the world champ. The world champ should be pretty like me.
Well, he told me to bet my life that you wouldn't go 3 rounds.
Well, if you want to lose your money, then bet on Sunday.
Oh, may I ask you this?
Because I'll never lose a fight. It's impossible. Tell him. It's impossible.
Never lost a fight in your life.
Ask any of my fans when was the last time they lost. I'm too fast.
Champion from
I'm
the crib.
king.
King
Born
of
the champ.
Born the champ from the crib.
And let's face it, look at the fun this kid created. Now, fun is what makes you excel at what you do. If you don't have fun, it turns ugly. I don't like to be involved in a situation where you don't have fun.
The media loved Clay's antics, but didn't like his chances in the ring.
Liston, almost the first time he hits him, could be 1, perhaps 2. I'll take 1.
I look for Liston to win in 3 rounds. However, if Clay should get beyond the 3rd round, I think with each succeeding round, his chances are better.
I like Liston in about 1 to 3 rounds. I think the problem is whether Cassius can hurt Sonny or not.
Today's small cars are tougher than ever on oil. Their high-compression engines not only rev high, they can run hotter than regular small car engines. Their searing heat can begin to break down an oil immediately. That's why there's Castrol, the motor oil that in every grade provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. So use Castrol before your engine does something to get you heated up. Castrol, engineered for today's smaller cars.
For the pride, for the dream, for the love, and for the team, for the will that comes from the heart, for the skill that sets you apart, for the sweat and for the drive.
crisp taste of Beechwood-aged Budweiser.
Ford, profiles in quality, reliability.
The quality of today's Fords, Lincolns, and Mercurys is no accident. It's engineered into every car and truck we build. We bump before you bump. We open and close. We brake, we shake, we get in and get out. We freeze, we start. When your goal is to build the highest quality cars and trucks in the world, you don't do it any other way. At Ford,
It's the morning of February 25th, the day of the big fight. Now we'll see the craziest weigh-in in all boxing history.
On the morning of the fight, Miami Beach Convention Hall took center stage. Incredibly, close to 1,000 representatives of the news media from all over the world were right here for the weigh-in. And it wasn't your traditional weigh-in.
If the training was a rehearsal, then the weigh-in was a dress rehearsal for the plan that the young Cassius Clay had in his mind. The serious citizens of the boxing establishment descended on the little boxing camp, and they said to Clay, stop all the playing around, stop all the nonsense, get serious, preserve the dignity of the weigh-in of the heavyweight championship of the world. Clay agreed until he hit the door.
The weigh-in was a sham, and Ali put on histrionics that were unbelievable. And if you look back at the clips, you'll find that that's what happened.
He thought he was crazy. And Sonny, I don't know, he had a violent side to him that everybody knew about, you know. But Cassius was smart, and he was clever. And he could get under Liston's skin more so than anybody ever knew, you know.
Liston didn't know what to expect. What came into play there, tough guys are afraid of guys that are a little goofy, you know, guys fly over the cuckoo's nest, no, those kind of guys. Tough guys don't know where to go with that. And he was a tough guy, Liston. So Liston's kind of looking at him like this, and then he's screaming and he's hollering. Dr. Robbins taking his blood pressure. Angelo, your guy's scared to death. This guy's scared to death. He's scared. I ain't gonna make the fight go on. And I'm listening to the guy. I said, he's only playing. He's only playing. I'm saying, we're having a little fun here.
Cassius Clay is fined $2,500 for his conduct on the platform.
Clay said later, he said anybody would have to be afraid of a crazy man, and that's why I was acting crazy.
It was all part of young Clay's master plan, to appear to be crazy and therefore render himself immune to Liston's bullying tactics.
Susan, can we talk?
Sure, Dad.
You notice anything different about Mom?
She's acting pretty wild for her age.
Well, I don't just mean the roller skates.
And the motor scooter. She even borrowed my new dress. Come on, Dad, what is it?
A balanced diet with the right vitamin nutrition helps people get more out of life. Some are finding Kellogg's Product 19. 100% of 12 vitamins and minerals. Feel good about yourself.
Not the, rubber dress.
Feel like 19 again.
Well, I was worried about my hair because I participate in a lot of sports. I have to shampoo every day. And a lot of times I'll shampoo 2-3 times a day. And I worried till I used my daughter's Johnson's baby shampoo.
Johnson's cleans hair clean, leaves hair healthy looking, no matter how much you shampoo.
My hair feels clean using Johnson's baby shampoo, and it feels healthy. And those are the important things to me.
The more you shampoo, the more you need Johnson's.
So, hey, I think I'm doing the right thing for my hair.
Jeep Racing Team, the winningest team in off-road racing, goes nowhere without Craftsman tools. From their durable precision power tools to hand tools that are guaranteed forever. So, make sure it's a Craftsman, because you don't want to get stuck with anything else.
The product. The proving grounds. The results. STP gas treatment is the edge.
Supercol mint kills plaque germs.
But how does it taste?
Plaque fighting, Supercol mint.
But how does it taste? Tastes great.
Supercol mint mouthwash.
What percentage of the fans do you feel will be coming to see him, and what percentage do you feel will be coming to see you?
Well, 100% will be coming to see me, but 99% will be coming to see me get beat.
Do you really feel that?
Because they think I talk too much.
4 months had passed since the Clay Liston title bout was officially announced. All the training, all the hype was now over. It was fight time. And it was through these doors that the two boxers made their entrance to the ring. However, yet another twist had emerged.
As if he hadn't put enough pressure on himself, Cassius Clay decided to announce that morning he had joined the Black Muslim religion, an unpopular militant group, and it threatened the entire promotion.
Oh my God, it killed the whole fight. We wound up with two bad guys. We had a good guy and a bad guy, like wrestling, which is terrific. Selling, because I was more wrestling than with boxing. And then we wound up with two bad guys. It was terrible.
Because the fight got butchered with that bad guy, good guy routine went into bad guy and unknown. The unknown scares people. What was a Muslim? I thought it was a piece of cloth. Who the heck knew what a Muslim was?
I thought it was a complete non-issue because I felt that Sonny Liston was going in and squash this boastful, braggartly kid like an ant, and that it would immediately become a non-issue.
Despite the uproar, nearly 9,000 people, including celebrities from sports and show business, filled Convention Hall on the evening of February 25th. Millions more watched closed-circuit television in movie theaters around the world. And just before 10 p.m. Eastern Time, Cassius Clay and his entourage made their way to the ring, to be followed by Sonny Liston. Let's join the action as it appeared live on the closed-circuit telecast with the call by Steve Ellis and former heavyweight champion Joe Louis.
And there we see the spotlight on the world champion, Sonny Liston, in his entourage, leading him down from dressing room to ring. A long walk down. Sonny with that hooded robe, the terry cloth white robe. And there he comes up the ring stairs. Willie Reddick, first man through. The heavyweight champion, with ropes being spread apart, bounces in, calm, cool, collected, and at the present time, both fighters are in. Over on the opposite corner of Sonny Liston, we see at this point the challenger Cassius Marcellus Clay, 22 years of age, unbeaten, 19 straight, going for all the marbles in the boxing business. And right now, to the dapper ring announcer, the colorful Frank Freeman.
This bout, 15 rounds for the heavyweight championship of the world. The challenger from Louisville, Kentucky, wearing white trunks with red stripes, weighing 210 1/2 pounds, the former Olympic light heavyweight champion, Cassius Clay. And his opponent from Denver, Colorado, weighing 218 pounds, wearing the black trunks with the white trim, the heavyweight champion of the world, Charles Sonny Liston.
I want a clean bout, men. In the event of a knockdown, a man that is down must take an 8 count. Man standing up will go to a neutral corner while I start counting. And do not resume boxing until I tell you to do so. Now, I want a clean bout. When they order you to break, stop punching and step back. Good luck. Shake hands.
All set now. World heavyweight boxing title on the line. 31-year-old Sonny Liston, 22-year-old Cassius Clay. Sonny the champion, Cassius the challenger. Sonny 218, Cassius 210.5, a 7.5 pound weight pool. Referee, the capable Barney Felix. Brought to you by Theater Network Television. Cassius plays on the move as we see, looking to get Sonny to lunge, carrying his left hand dangerously low. Note that the champion, Liston, the aggressive man, a good heavy shot dug under the heart. Sonny has to set the pace. That's the way it looks at the outset. Cassius, awkwardly fast. Good long left lead that might keep the champion a bit off balance. Very slippery. Play still in the danger zone in that he's keeping his hands low, but you'll notice one thing if you don't mind. He's at long range with the hands low. We're halfway through round one. Close range, if we look closely, although Barney Felix does want them apart at this point because the hands were tied, Sonny will be the guy that'll keep mauling away. 1 minute more in the first round. Sonny seems to be trying to slip those left leads. Can't do it too successfully because the challenger is jabbing all over. Body, head, and right hand. The best punch in the fight so far. We're down to the closing second of this first round, and the long left lead is making the difference so far by Mr. Clay.
Today's small cars are tougher than ever on oil. They're America's lowest priced import truck.
Tell us what you think at the end of one.
Well, Steve, I think this was the greatest round of any fight we've seen in a long time.
Completely outclassed Joe with his speed, his awkward style, his boxing, his natural ability. What did it, in your opinion?
Well, I hope that Clay don't get too much confidence to do that. He's gonna get knocked out.
Joe referred to overconfidence. This can happen.
The second round was the exact opposite of the furious first, as both Clay and Liston adopted a more cautious approach.
Well, I didn't talk in the corner. Willie did the talking, and Willie told him to bide his time. And so he figured sooner or later he's going to catch the guy, you know, but he couldn't catch him.
10 seconds more in the second round. The crowd's going to roar in a few more seconds, that's for sure. Moving on over to the champion's corner, Sonny Liston. Joe Louis, tell us now what they might be telling Sonny. How will he have to fight in round 3?
Well, I'm sure that Willie Red is telling Sonny to forget about catching his head because, you know, he pulled back too much and is much too fast for that. But I think he's going to work on the body for a while
The old saying, no, kill the body, the head of dying.
All right. We're getting set. Thank you, Joe. We're getting set now for round number 3. Liston and Clay. Another jarring right hand that time, folks. Another one. Sonny wobbles. Sonny wobbles. Cassius has him hurt. Sonny is talking to... Sonny has a big mouth below his left eye. He has a cut below the eye, and he's getting hit with all the punches in the book. We're halfway through round 3. Sonny bleeding slightly from the nose also. Only 55 seconds remaining in round 3. Hold the bone. Cassius is a bit hurt. Sonny, still aggressive, very durable. Seconds more in the third.
Clay had cut Liston in the 3rd round, and cornerman Joe Polino worked to stop the champion's bleeding.
They're working on the cut below the left eye. It's very difficult to get a shot, but what do you think Sonny's condition, as Joe Polino works on the cut, would be right now?
Well, Steve, that round looked bad for Sonny, especially when he was putting all that flurries on Sonny. But I think the last minute of the round, I think Sonny looked pretty good.
Do you think Cassius tired a bit, or what happened a bit toward that last minute of the round?
That's hard to say. That's hard to say. But Sonny did. But Clay did talk to Sonny.
What happened in that round was when he started blinking on me. Blinking, you know, and I couldn't understand what the heck was wrong. You know, you always think, well, thumb.
Less than a minute to go in this 4th round. Ooh! The Liston hook started out as a jab, turned it short to a good hook. minute more in round number 4.
After a strong 4th round, suddenly a crisis in Clay's corner, and it almost stops the fight.
I didn't know what the heck went on. So what had happened, come back to the corner, cut the gloves off. I want to prove to the world there's dirty work afoot. I said, whoa, whoa, back up, baby. Come on now. This is for the title. This is the Big Apple. What are you doing? Sit down. So I get him down. I get the sponge, and I pour the water into his eyes, trying to cleanse whatever's there. But before I did that, put my pinky in his eye, really. And I put it into my eye. It burned like hell. There was something caustic in both eyes. Joe Polino had used Moncel solution on that cut. Now, what had happened, probably the kid put his forehead leaning in on the guy, because Liston was starting to wear with those body shots, and my kid, sweating profusely, went into both eyes. So this is what happened to the kid. You know, what the heck, let's face it, biggest fight of his life, and he's blind. He can't see. So he's hitting the panic button. So thank God, got up. Bell ring, I says, run.
Something wrong with Clay now. Something wrong with Clay. Something wrong with Clay.
I see that, Joe. His eyes are bothering him. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't know exactly what happened. They're yelling from Cassius Clay's corner. Something got in his right eye. However, he's blinking badly. Sonny's going to try to pull it on. With his eyes. He's blinking and he's bouncing away continually. Liston still aiming toward the body with the big punches. To go in the 5th. Sonny fired his best left hook so far. To go, number 5. .24 seconds remaining in the 5th. Only 10 seconds remaining as Sonny's still moving in. Cash is still bouncing punches away, blocking them.
I felt we were home free. I think the realization of Liston finally knowing this kid was for real.
Today's small cars are tougher than ever on oil. Their high-compression engines not only rev high, they can run hotter than regular small car engines. Their searing heat can begin to break down an oil immediately. That's why there's Castrol, the motor oil that in every grade provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. So use Castrol before your engine does something to get you heated up. Castrol, engineered for today's smaller cars.
Attention shredded wheat eaters, you've been missing something. Taste, but no more. Kellogg Squares brings you that superlative shredded wheat nutrition with no salt, no fat, no cholesterol. But wait, Kellogg Squares gives you free in every bite. Taste. Sweet, delectable fruit in the middle. You might never eat plain old shredded wheat again. Kellogg Squares, shredded wheat with taste. Free in every bite. And speaking of taste, now Squares have 35% more raisin. Great taste. Free.
Jeep Racing Team, the winningest team in off-road racing, goes nowhere without Craftsman tools. From their durable precision power tools to hand tools that are guaranteed forever. So, make sure it's a Craftsman, because you don't...
In round 6, we note that Sonny, flat-footed stance most of the time. Easy target. Easy. Play with a variety of punches. We call them combinations. Putting punches together. That's his strong point. We're in the middle of round number 6. Cassius plays still with the faster hands and the better legs, or at least the faster legs. I'll correct myself on that one. Sonny does have sturdy legs. With slightly less than a minute more in the 6th round, the champion has slowed down a bit. The tempo has slowed in the fight. Only 30 seconds to go in the 6th round. Sonny can't seem to slip or knock down that jab effectively. Cassius throws it from all angles. Very tricky left lead, left jab. Seconds remaining in the 6th. The crowd's now cheering the challenger. Let's get over to our champion, Joe Louis. Joe, looking in toward the champion's corner, he's still standing up. They're going to make him sit down. What do you think is going on in Sonny's mind at this point?
Well, I think Sonny now is beginning to worry now. At least his corners begin to worry now, because I think that they feel now that Clay have all the confidence he needs and go on to defeat Sonny.
Sonny said, I can't lift my arm. And Willie said, well, you know, it's another day, it's another time. But it broke Willie's heart, I tell you the truth now. Willie was hurt more than anybody else.
There you see them, Joe Polino trying to keep that cut closed. Do you feel as though Sonny being busted up a little bit, puffed up a little bit around the face, will this make a difference in Liston's thinking?
Well, it has to make a difference, because Liston now, I think he don't see too well out both his eyes now, because they're pretty well puffed out. And I think Clay got all the confidence he needs now.
Cassius Clay, peripheral vision, sharp. He's looking over my shoulder. He's looking over my shoulder. And he got up. We win.
They might be stopping it. That might be all, ladies and gentlemen. Get up there, Joe. Get up there. Get up in the ring.
When we realized in the corner that Cassius Clay had won, we were stunned, disbelieving. Only Clay clearly understood that he was the heavyweight champion of the world, and he took his time to tell the newsmen at ringside that they had been wrong. Shirley Povich, Jim Murray, Ed Pope, all of them.
I was so stunned. I was just electrified, and there he was right in front of me and a whole bunch of other newspaper men pointing down to us like this. I told you exactly what I was going to do. Allah ordained that I would be champion. I told you. Well, we were just sitting there stunned. We didn't even know which key to hit first.
Ladies and gentlemen, up here in the ring corner with Joe Lewis. Joe, what did it to Sonny Liston? What happened?
Well, I just want to talk to Sonny. Sonny Liston, doctor stopped the fight because Sonny had sold his left shoulder out of the socket.
Out of the socket.
Yeah. As you know, Sonny was missing a lot of left hooks.
Hold it. He's yelling behind us. Cassius Clay, wait a minute. Come here. Come here. Come here, champ. I'm the greatest thing that ever lived. Now, wait a minute. Now, hold it. Move over, Joe. Joe, get on. I don't have a mark on my face. Hold it. Bedlam breaking out. Bedlam busting out here. Great. I don't have a mark on my face. Yeah. And I upset Sonny Liston, and I just turned 22 years old. I must be the greatest. I told the world. I talk to God every day. If God's with me, can't nobody be against me. Sonny, I shook up the world. I shook up the world. I shook up the world. Joe, I shook up the world. Wait a minute, Cash. Wait a minute. You must listen to me. Now listen. I am the double. All right, hold it. Ladies and gentlemen, I must tell you this. I can't be beat. Joe, wait, hold it. They're pulling the champ, but I don't think so. All right, tell us this. All right, Cash. Thank you. I'm great. Thank you, Cassius Clay, the heavyweight champion.
This kid was great for boxing. Changed the whole ball game, the whole innovation, made it a world sport. There's a guy that did it all.
There was no match. I want the world to know I'm so great until Sonny Liston was not even a match.
I don't think he quit. I think that Liston became old during the fight.
He just hung his head down, you know, and everybody tried to console him. But he said, we'll come back.
But for Sonny Liston, it was the beginning of the end. A year later, he would lose the rematch with Muhammad Ali and would never contend for the title again. On this night, the heavyweight spotlight had been focused squarely on the new champion.
Oh, I whooped him so bad. Wasn't that good? Oh, I shook up the world.
And so, Cassius Clay set up obstacles and he overcame them. He climbed out on the end of a limb, he sawed it off, and still he won. It was to become his way, and even as Muhammad Ali, whether he was leading the way in boxing, in politics, or with his anti-war views, he became, as he remains today, the greatest.
So 25 years ago, last night, Cassius Clay did it. He indeed shook the world, and he did it in his own way.
I am the greatest.
This is the legend of Cassius Clay, the most beautiful fighter in the world today. He talks a great deal and brags indeed of a muscular punch that's incredibly speedy. The fistic world was dull and weary. With a champ like Liston, things had to be dreary. Then someone with color, someone with dash, brought fight fans a running with cash. This brash young boxer is something to see, and the heavyweight championship is his destiny.
Bodini, come here. Bodini, tell him, what are we going to do? You're going to float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. Ah, rumble, young man, rumble. Ah.
This has been NBC's Sports World, and today it was brought to you by Castrol, the motor oil engineered for today's smaller cars. By Kentucky Fried Chicken, cross the road. By Isuzu, the first car builders of Japan. And by your friends at Anheuser-Busch, who remind you to know when to say when.
hundreds of men.
There's nothing I can't do.
He had hundreds of women.
Oh, God, I love you.
And he built a criminal empire that still exists today.
Gonna run this country.
Put a man like that in jail, he's gonna get even.
Run you're entitled to.
Hooray for H&R Block, as far as I'm concerned.
Discover what millions of Americans already know. H&R Block gets you the maximum refund you're entitled to.
Don't settle for less.
So there's Richie, my twin brother, taking my place at the game. I was cramming for finals, and he only had to warm the bench, like I do. No one can tell us apart.
Oh, you guys, I can always tell just by the sound.
Hi, everybody. I'm Al Bernstein, and welcome to another edition of Super Bout. Tonight, we will go back and look at one of the greatest, no, maybe the greatest fighter of all time, Muhammad Ali. He'll take on George Chuvalo back on May 1st of 1972. Chuvalo, the perennial Canadian challenger, had already fought Ali once before in 1966, and now in Vancouver, he would take him on again. Now, for Muhammad Ali, he'd already had his loss in his first epic battle to Joe Frazier, and now was trying to fight his way back for a chance at the World Championship. And George Chuvalo, as always, was a welcome stepping stone. Let's go to Vancouver. For the call, it's Guy LeBeau.
That is unmistakable. Muhammad Ali, with his retinue, ex-heavyweight champion of the world. He weighs 217 and a half pounds. This surprised all of us. Expected to come in lighter, but he is caught around the middle, and for the first time can be called in good shape. Many newsmen from around the world in person here today. Dick Young of the Daily News, Milt Gross of the New York Post, Dave Anderson of the Times, and we know watching on closed circuit television, Jimmy Cannon, Red Smith, Jim Murray, Arthur Daly, and Mel Gerstlak, all of their respective great papers to show, to cover the Kentucky Derby. Shelley Shelton is in the middle of the ring. Let's go up there.
The officials appointed here by the Vancouver Athletic Commission, the judges, Tommy Keys and Tommy Panessa. Your referee, Dave Brown. Counting up the knockdown, Jeff Ewell. The timekeeper, Gary Wallace. It is a 5-point must system with a mandatory 8 count. And the bell does not stop the count with the exception of the final round. And now, introducing the gladiator from Cherry Hill, New Jersey, weighing in at 217 and 1/2 pound, the former world champion, Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali is the worthy opponent. The great Toronto Hard Rock, the Canadian heavyweight champion from Toronto at 221 pounds in the blue corner, George
Chuvalo has predicted a knockout. Muhammad Ali says he will be the first man to knock George Chuvalo off his feet. This is the second reckoning. They fought before. Muhammad Ali won a 15-round decision, but says it was the hardest fight he ever had. He was hit harder by Chuvalo than anyone with the exception of Joe Frazier. And now, Chuvalo has to think about this. He knows that Muhammad Ali usually comes out a little bit slower, works it to full speed by the third round when he's shooting those left jabs and pumping the right hand with authority. Chuvalo, we thought would come out smoking. Chuvalo thought he might, but you never know until the very last second. Chuvalo's idea will be to cut off the ring a little bit. It's been the idea of everybody who has fought Muhammad Ali, and of course they have been unsuccessful.
with the exception of Frazier. Frazier was able to do it because with one blow he could slow you down considerably. Chuvalo has punching power, but not with a Joe Frazier. When Chuvalo is a counter-attacker with the white to white light, he is not as effective as when he goes after his man aggressively. Chuvalo, as we said, has never been knocked off his feet. Sometimes that's not particularly good. Sometimes it's good to be knocked off a little bit, lie around for a count of 8, and then come back. A minute has gone by in round 1, and Ali lands with a combination with not too much power, is dancing more springly, and a good solid combination by Ali rocks Chuvalo, but he comes back. Ali is faster here in round 1 than we've seen him in his previous rounds against Mathis, against Max Buster, and against Jimmy Allen. 30 seconds remaining, or rather a minute 30 remaining in round 1. Chuvalo has not yet landed anything too effectively. He chased Muhammad Ali in their previous fight, as you know. He won only 3 rounds out of 15. 2 were even on most cards. Chuvalo has a little redness along the left eye. Muhammad Ali apparently in love with the condition he is now in. Just wants to fight up to the top of the second. Moving like we've never seen him in a first round of any of his fights. He was 213, I think, in his fight with Sonny Liston. The first or second time, surely. And that was his best fight. Ali threw one good combination. They are fighting the 5-point must system, as you know. Outside of that, Chuvalo has not been hit very hard and has not landed too much back effectively. 30 seconds remaining in round 1. Still trying to cut off Ali. And that was a good solid up to the body. And good volley by Chuvalo. Chuvalo with a good volley. Enough to even up the round. And Ali now trying to win it back with that strong left hand. 10 seconds. Ali allowed himself to be backed into the corner, and Chuvalo said anytime he goes into a rope or into a corner, I'll be there.
Oh, my back hurts, and I had a game this afternoon. So I'm taking Advil. I know I'll feel better soon. More doctors recommend Advil by name to relieve backaches than any other brand. And you know, just one Advil is as effective relieving pain as 2 regular-strength Tylenol. With Advil, there's no reason to let a sore back keep me from swinging. So now I can think about my game instead of my back. Advil, advanced medicine for pain.
A grapefruit drink that's actually sweet? Yep. Ocean Spray Ruby Red Grapefruit Juice Drink. It's got a sweet taste that's really different. Say this is grapefruit juice. This is Ruby Red. Grapefruit juice?
Can't have flakes.
He's been a will-o'-the-wisp, which is contrasted with the kind of social boy he was in Tokyo and other places. Round 2. We're calling round 1 even. Chuvalo, as you know, has been cut in previous fights, which has caused those fights to be ended. Chuvalo first surfaced many years ago when he pinch hit and took on Mike DeJohn, I believe it was, and beat him. He's been battling 16 years. Solid left to the body by Chuvalo. That's what he wants to do. Into the body. Chuvalo is one of the best left hookers in the business today. A good solid right to the body by Chuvalo. And Muhammad Ali is not returning enough combinations and enough hard hitting. But look at Ali move about. Have you ever seen a heavyweight move like that? Chuvalo is an up-and-down fighter. Ali ties him up effectively. It was against George Chuvalo that Ali did a kind of a cute thing that he kept doing against Max Buster, holding Chuvalo's head down, leaning against the rope, and begging Chuvalo to hit him hard in the stomach. That was in their first fight. I will tell you a little bit more about that if it happens. again. This is round 2. Chuvalo was tagged with a solid combination in round 1, has done most of the heavy hitting and landing here in round 2. Good, solid, left-to-the chin by Ali. You maybe did not see it because of the camera angle. And a good right to the jaw by Ali. And Chuvalo is talking to him. 1 minute left. Here, round 2. Ali beginning to taunt Chuvalo. Chuvalo wants him to stand still and fight. 40 seconds left in round 2. Ali reminds me here of the Ali I saw against Zora Bali in Madison Square Garden. After a jab, right to the face. Returned by Chuvalo to take care of the 2 jabs that Ali struck. Ali trying to bolo now. Ali suddenly reverses and throws the right hand out with good power. Ali began to throw that bolo over the wall. Now Chuvalo is taunting him. Seconds only remaining in round 2. And there it is. Chuvalo did not come out as fast as he said he would, but he is fast enough. And he is carrying the fight 75% of the time. This is George Chuvalo. He is managed by Irving Ungerman, who is leaning in, the balding gentleman on the right. Ungerman besieged him to quit the ring some 4 years ago. And for a little while, Chuvalo thought he might. He had fought enough to realize he was not going to reach the championship. He had been defeated by Floyd Patterson, and he felt that was about it. Then he was, I think it was the defeat by Joe Frazier, really, that turned the tide. And then he decided he would fight on, and Ungerman said, okay, if you are going to fight, I'll remain as your manager, but I will no longer take a penny in commission. And that's the arrangement, the association between George Chuvalo and Irv Ungerman, and I think it's the unique one in boxing history. Chuvalo coming out against Muhammad Ali for round 3, and this crowd at the Pacific Coliseum whipping up to this fight. Now Muhammad Ali going into the famous Ali dance, keeping his eyes sectioned at the midsection of George Chuvalo. Chuvalo wants the body. And then suddenly shifts his attack to the head. Chuvalo came to, I guess, the peak of his particular career when he stopped Jerry Clark. Jerry gets another chance at Muhammad Ali on the 26th of June in Las Vegas. In all candor, Muhammad Ali looks as if he hasn't even been working too long. Untouched, moving at will, hands down loose. And I suspect waiting for Chuvalo to tire himself, punch himself out a little bit before he begins the night's work in serious. 1 minute remaining in round 3. I want to check that. It's 1 minute and 45 seconds remaining. Ali has not done much offensively since round 1. Chuvalo got most of the hard blows in round 2. Chuvalo looks clear-eyed, and incidentally looks a lot better now than he did when he was on the scales this morning. Very pale, very pallid, didn't talk. Ali was very quiet, too. It was kind of a somber session. Hardly the kind that surrounds a Muhammad Ali fight. About a minute left in round 3. It has slowed down. The hard hitting came by Chuvalo in round 2. The good hitting by Muhammad Ali in round 1. Nobody has beaten Ali that way lately. And a beautiful combination by Muhammad Ali in return. It's when he begins to throw those that you know he's got the sense of the fight and is ready to make his move. In previous fights, he could not do that very well or too much. It required better conditioning. But
but he has the better conditioning now. 20 seconds remaining, round 3. Ali hasn't stopped dancing since the bell sounded. Good start, a blocking left hand by Ali. Big hit against Chuvalo, and that has bothered Chuvalo. Only seconds remaining in round 3. And that left hand sticks into the chin, which he barely saw, we barely caught, has bothered Chuvalo. There's the landing last target and landed again. And again. Chuvalo, you know, had a serious eye operation a couple of years ago performed by the doctor who attends him in his corner, and we'll point him out a little bit later on. His right eye was cracked badly by a blow by Joe Frazier, and the eyeball actually dropped out of the socket into the skin patch below, and they had to build up the skin area underneath the socket with special material. Actually, it's made the right eye stronger in all senses. But he did have a very critical operation on that right eye. Minutes gone by in round 4. Ali letting Chuvalo get away from him a little bit. But remember, Chuvalo has great endurance, great durability, and just when you think you have him, he comes on right down. The left hand landed well, the right hand was a tracing play. Muhammad Ali pacing himself very well, very well. He's got to go past Chuvalo, and he's got to go to Quarry in June, and this is the last leg of a long trip back to a square circle with Joe Frazier. Remember that as fighters go today, Chuvalo probably can take more punishment than any fighter including champion Joe Frazier. Just when it looks like he's going to be counted out or being knocked down, look out, he'll come back and like that. But Ali, speeding up his punches now, he has landed 2 good telling combinations. And soon it will begin to blind and slow down Chuvalo a little bit. He has the heavy overhanging brow, which begin to puff up and spoil his shot. Ali ties him up just when Chuvalo had a rally going. The time is being called. Muhammad Ali's left shoe is on. Muhammad Ali is right over on the left. Who's coming up to the ground? But unnecessarily so. They are fighting, incidentally, with 8-ounce gloves. And there was a bone of contention earlier this week as to whether they would fight with 8 or 10-inch gloves. 10-inch gloves would be required by the Vancouver Athletic Commission. But that was waived after Hungerman, manager of Chuvalo, put up one heck of a smell about it. He had had bad results with the 10-inch gloves which were made in Mexico. They're wearing Everlasts here, which are 8 ounces and made in the United States. We don't wish to get into national politics about it, but that is just a statement of the fact. Chuvalo still has no planned attack, mainly to get to the body, slow him up enough so he can get to the head.
That beat you coming. Get that beat you.
Seconds only remaining. Another good combination by Muhammad Ali in round 4. And there's a replay of the first round. Not enough time for heavy hitting and is critical for Chuvalo. Seconds only remaining in this round. And there is the bell. Round 5. Muhammad Ali ahead, but he has been pestered and he has been hurt by George Chuvalo.
Let's bring him home. Let's bring him home.
When we say hurt, this doesn't mean he has been shot to pieces or anything like that. But sometimes from a hard blow thrown by Chuvalo, you can see glances of concern across Ali's face in every play. They do hurt. That's a hurt. That's just a slip. Chuvalo is landing more to the body than previous opponents have, and he can't hurt. He is at 220 pounds, while Muhammad Ali is at 217 and a half. A famous writer in Toronto, Milt Donnell, said that if taking punishment was the meter of being a champion, Chuvalo would have been champion long ago and for a long time. They are both in excellent condition. Round 5.
Keep spanking it.
If you want to make comparisons, when Ali goes against Quarry, Quarry will throw faster left. but not necessarily harder than Chuvalo, and probably not. Chuvalo still trying to cut off the ring, but not being able to. And I would have thought that Muhammad Ali would be moving to Chuvalo's right to get away from that left hook. Now he is. He misses it up. And again, Muhammad Ali is very quickly landing his punches, then tying his man up. Chuvalo telling Dave that Ali is holding him. As I report to you, Chuvalo still breathing very well, not appearing to be out of gas. Even though he has chased Muhammad Ali considerable distance, they're fighting inside an 18-foot ring. Earlier this afternoon, they hoisted a 16-foot ring.
We're taking a look at Muhammad Ali against George Chuvalo in their second meeting back on May 1st of 1972. Now, remember, Ali used to make up nicknames for all the fighters he fought. Well, George Chuvalo was called the Washerwoman. I'm not sure for what reason, but I thought it was one of the most unflattering names that Ali had come up for an opponent. Now, in this fight, George Chuvalo, unlike in their first fight, was actually able early in the round to get to Ali with some of his body shots and actually do some good on the inside. And part of that is because this was a much different Ali than he had faced in 1966. Not an Ali with constant movement, but an Ali that would stand in front of you just a little bit more. But as always, you get the feeling that Muhammad Ali was still in control of all the festivities. And you'll see that he is as we head into round 6 of Muhammad Ali and George Chuvalo.
This is round 6. Chuvalo was taken up a little bit for the last flurry in round 5. Sonny came out of his tent. Now Ali is in a punching bag. Muhammad Ali's KOs have mostly come before the 7th round. What a rally by Muhammad Ali. Ali lands suddenly. Chuvalo bleeding from the right eye. Chuvalo can't stop anything. And Ali hitting him under the sun. This is an unleashed Ali. This is the Ali the crowd has asked for, which he hasn't been able to give them in any fight since Joe Frazier. Chuvalo's still strong, still standing on his feet. He's never been knocked off his feet, but he is hurt, bleeding from the nose, bleeding from the forehead, bleeding from a touch in the right eye section. There was plenty of time after a KO by Ali. It was quick, bombastic, slow. With hurricane effort, Muhammad Ali has suddenly busted up George Chuvalo. Chuvalo still feeling murder, but he is bleeding profusely along the right side of the nose, badly from the eye, from the forehead, and from the mouth. The question now will be, does Ali have anything to finish it off with? Or was this just another flurry of Ali's as he flurried against Frank Foster in round 3 at Tokyo? And still Chuvalo stopped. Ali has said he was going to knock him out, but he's still in there. The blows that he took would have knocked both opponents out. And still Chuvalo comes forward. And I'm not going to say whether Ali was playing with him or not. All I know is he had Chuvalo, he was all his, threw everything at him, and he couldn't take it out. Ali, too, has been trying to get back that instinct for the kill, that ability to finish off an opponent. But he has always been something of an enigma insofar as finishing opponents off. The same is true of Chuvalo. Chuvalo's still in there, throwing leather. But he has been busted up by Muhammad Ali. He'll have a considerable amount of time to sit left in the crowd. Chuvalo, I can tell you, can still see well. The eye is open. Maybe the doctor will be any undue swelling, and the fight should continue at this pace. Chuvalo breathing just a little bit more heavily. 18 seconds left in this round. Ali had that mid-round flurry, and that's been about it. He may be pacing himself. It may be on him. He knows better than I do, and I'm sure he wants to find out. Thank you. He seems to be all right, but he's front row. Round 7. So already this has been the fight that the promoters, that the fighters predicted. And it wasn't until the very last, I might say, that the sports writers of Vancouver and certain sections of Canada gave Chuvalo any support whatsoever. He has been denigrated. He has been ranked down more harshly by local writers than any fighter of recent note, and he doesn't deserve it. Ali's corner calling for him to stick Chuvalo at this point. Maybe telling him not to go into exchanges of any power nature now. Chuvalo has certainly come to fight tonight. This could be the last hurrah for George Chuvalo. He may decide to hang it all up tonight. 16 years of fighting. He's won when he should have lost when he should have won. He's never been able to really put it all together. But he would deserve a standing ovation anyway because of a dedicated fight career. Ali breathing a little bit heavily now as he passes into his own. As he passes into his own. Chuvalo will find Ali to the body. I can tell you, Ali is breathing heavily. Sometimes the camera will not pick up the facial motions, the respiratory actions. I can see it all, and it is why I'm telling you some of these things. Ali, remember, to not finish Chuvalo off in the previous round after having him going down the chute, and here has raised no attack of any consequence against Chuvalo. It has been Chuvalo carrying the fight. And Chuvalo already, in my card, has won 2 rounds of this fight at least. He needs one more to already have a better, as good a record as he did against Ali in our previous one. Again, the blood starts up at the part and at the tip of Chuvalo. Chuvalo's boxing his chin a little bit better. Now he is starting Ali, and Ali's going to have it. This is the most talking I've seen between 2 important heavyweight contenders. Chuvalo is claiming that Muhammad Ali is hitting him below the belt, and vice versa. Just seconds remaining in round 6. We're going to take a look at Ali in this next round. At the end of round 6, Chuvalo came back strongly. And Ali had nothing to carry him through round 6. Ali has claimed that in their previous fight, George Chuvalo hit him below the belt a considerable amount of time and hurt him. Chuvalo's manager, Ungerman, claimed that Ali was wearing some kind of a unique kind of dapper bod belt, which made it extremely easy for a fighter without meaning to hit below the belt. And Ungerman has insisted that this time, Ali wear the conventional belt, so there'll be none of that nonsense, and there'll be no low-hitting claims by anything, by anyone. A report has just come to me that some sports writers at ringside see the fight even as we go into round 8. And this commentator does not see it even, sees Ali ahead. Round 8. Generally speaking, when Ali has knocked out his foes, on balance, it has come before the 8th round. Chuvalo has a better record for knockouts in the earlier rounds. His knockouts have usually come about the fourth round. He has 9 one-round KOs to his record. Ali looks set and smooth again. But he's not doing much sticking. At 217 and a half, I still feel Ali might shed 1 or 2 pounds. Chuvalo having no luck in round 8 in chasing Ali. Ali not so much sticking with the left hand as moving around, feinting with it, bobbing with the head, trying to draw a right. No damage there whatsoever. Ali held the incoming Chuvalo at arm's length. Ali's body sounded pretty well with it. A good step. Ali looks for Chuvalo's right hand coming in. And Chuvalo hasn't landed too much with that. Every once in a while, when Ali scoots around Chuvalo has a kind of a chagrined look. Kind of a, oh, for goodness sake, go with it. Chuvalo scores there. We have the 5-point must-win in the city in this fight. The loser of the round gets up to 4 points. Strangely enough, Ali seldom uses the Jack Johnson technique of stopping blows in midair. I haven't seen that since before his return. Under 30 seconds remaining in round 8. So far, rounds 6 and 7 have had the fireworks. Ali has slowed down perceptibly. This will be a 12-round battle, remember? 5-point must-win. Muhammad Ali's story. He's knocked down for a knockout to make him credible. In his attempt to regain top challenger status in his own mind and in the minds of the great many experts who are beginning to move Foreman up close to it, George Foreman, although Foreman has had nowhere near the amount of victories over important fighters. Chuvalo's eye now bleeding again. He has a deep cut right above the right eye and the right eye. It's cut a bit at the inside and cut underneath. But there's no danger from what I see in front of this fight being stopped in the immediate future. Any eye cutting or bleeding. And now let's see if Ali puts his hands over Chuvalo's head. He's trying to. He's being told by his corner to get off the rope. Now an attack by Chuvalo and relentless. Ali's trying to find throwing room now. Chuvalo with a great rally and bringing the crowd to its feet here at the second Coliseum. What a fight this has been. Now Ali displaying some of the quickness of those hands. Ali coming right back, and there goes Chuvalo. Although Ali has taken most of the hard punishment, it is Chuvalo whose face indicates that he's taken a great deal of punishment. Only 20 seconds or so remaining in this round. Chuvalo shows alternatingly flashes of weakness and the ability to come back. Now he's at the weak stage, and there he comes back. And now the blood beginning to flow.
When is a stamp not just a stamp?
Stamp, this is a legend.
When is a stamp not just a stamp?
When he's really before regarded as over the hill, showing dogged determination, dedication to the fight business, and not only that, but a whale of a left and right. Muhammad Ali on your screen. In his corner, Angelo Dundee, who has been with him since his emergence, who brought him to a world championship fight after only 20 fights. Great muscular architecture. This is round 10 coming up. I have a feeling Chuvalo has come closer in scoring. That's an unofficial remark, of course, than he did in his first fight so far at Madison Square Garden against Muhammad Ali. But Ali told me he expected to knock Chuvalo out. At least expected to knock him down for the first time in his career. It has not happened. There's nothing that seems as if it augurs that it will happen. Chuvalo summons up great reserves of courage and energy. But Ali is now pinpointing that left hand. He's banged the right on top of the head in only a little area left to it. And scored. You can say what you will. You've seen a classier heavyweight than Muhammad Ali with more abilities to move in any direction, fire any kind of blows. I want you to call me and tell me where and when. Give him his due. A great effort, who incidentally says he can't stand sports. Confidently taking the body reckoning. Looking at where those blows are coming and shuffling by Ray Robinson, and some of them are getting in. Chuvalo just landed a good left and right to the place of the combination. That time, Ali's going to come back speedily with the photo. He's been told by his corner to come out and get Chuvalo, but he can't summon it. Chuvalo hurts you even if he hits your arms and hands. 1 minute remaining in round 10. We're at Pacific Coliseum. This thing being in 37 nations across the world and the United States and Canada. This fight may not do as much for Muhammad Ali as it will do for George Chuvalo. But of course, Ali has taken solid punishment. Body punches have only temporarily slowed him down. The slaps along the arm, the cracks along the shoulders, and the forearms have not stopped him from putting it left in the face. He has bowled with Chuvalo, so he's done everything expected of him. And he's got a little bit more time to prove his point. There's the bell.
My dandruff and itch are awful. I'll try anything. Denorex tingles. Head and Shoulders doesn't.
Both have effective dandruff medicine, but Denorex has something extra that tingles.
That's why I started using Denorex. No flakes, no itch.
Denorex, the serious dandruff shampoo.
So the idea hit me. Chicken sounds good. I had the long john. Something tells me I should. $4.99. I hear a voice say the fish, chicken, and fries will blow you away. So if you think of chicken, you gotta get fish. Long John Silver's, you're gonna get your wish.
Remember how much fun it used to be to play in the snow? Well, it still is. To visit a place where the snow is as good as it gets, and all the ways to play in it have been perfected, just call 1-800-Colorado. Get a free vacation guide, a travel discount certificate from Continental, and a chance to return to childhood.
So you want to know about football? I'll tell you. Even if Muhammad Ali could win, Ali would have to be a Canadian citizen. Round 11. Let us see what Ali has come out to do. He's got 2 rounds, somewhat less. To knock Chuvalo off his feet, to prove his own hitting prowess, to see that he's got the power back, to mill with Joe Frazier. That inevitable second fight of the century. Ali has not plastered Chuvalo with his left to the face as much as I would have expected he would. Ali has tried, whenever possible, to mix with Chuvalo. He has been willing to mix, but he's shown enough of the left jab and the dancing, as you see right now, to indicate he's got it at 30, as he had it the first time we saw it. Chuvalo taking advantage of Ali's laziness and landing in front with his middle punch and hard. Now Ali's calling is saying, look out, Sam. Chuvalo is trying to steal the show. Ali being beseeched by his corner to be mean. Take it. This ain't throw the right. But Ali has been relentlessly pursued by Chuvalo, who comes up hitting. But although he has taken solid punishment, only once in the 11th round so far have we seen Ali really appear to be hurt. A concerned look in the crosses out. 1 minute remaining in round 11. Chuvalo seems to have enough energy left. And now Ali measures as if he wants it. Midway in the fight, Ali seemed to have Chuvalo going. Either backed off thinking he could get him later. That hasn't evolved. Or maybe didn't have enough. Maybe Chuvalo goes. No doubt Ali will again say Chuvalo has given him one of the hardest fights of his career.
And if Syntec protects this well now, imagine if you leave it in. Castrol Syntec protects in ways other oils can't.
He expected to be around for this final round, but appears to be around in pretty good shape. The bleeding has been controlled. Here we come. Most of the crowd at Palisade Coliseum attending, expecting a knockdown or a knockout, expecting Muhammad Ali to go all out and to get that one. At the moment, Ali is not targeting his foes too well, but they're coming from everywhere. A good strong right by Ali has landed, and it has slowed Chuvalo touching up a little bit. Chuvalo did not land anything after that last fight by Ali. Ali now with a photo, but gets away from the left hand by Chuvalo. Ali's punches don't have that much steam as Chuvalo falls in on him. About 45 seconds of nothing had gone by in this 12th and final round. Ali tried and taking the time left for the hitting, but there Chuvalo still standing and still throwing. You make up your own mind whether Ali has lost some of his punching steam. Chuvalo has not cut up that badly either, not in the medicine moving away. Ali seems to have the energy, but not for throwing. Chuvalo still up, like he can take a lot more, and nothing's going to knock him off his feet. There's a man who over 80 fights has never been knocked down. And Ali, who wanted to prove to himself, prove to the world that he had it, has only 15 seconds left to do that. With the right hand a moment ago, Ali threw the toughest punch of the night. And Chuvalo left in this fight. It has been a whale of a fight. Chuvalo with a surprising late fight rally against Ali, as he thought it would be going the other way at this point. Ali with not too much speed, but shifting a lot more than he wants to. Only 9 seconds left. Watch that little thing on the bottom of your screen. Were you surprised by the battle of George Chuvalo? Right. I've been George, been 4 years old, now 34. He would be a little slow, but he was in good shape. He fought me better than he fought everybody. Are you disappointed that you could not knock him off his feet? No, I'm not. I tried. When I just predict around or Sam will do something and have the time to do it and don't do it, I don't feel bad, but we got to get Joe Frazier. It's time for Joe Frazier. I'm fighting all the contenders every month. It's time for him to come on out of hiding and prove he's the real champ. What did you want to prove to yourself in this fight? Did you do that? Mainly that I can get my weight down to what it used to be. Also, go a grueling 12 rounds with this man if I had to and not have a scratch or a bruise, which I don't. Tried to knock him out, had him shook, but he was quite pretty shook with his Muhammad. He's got a short neck and he keeps his neck down. He's strong, and we don't always knock him out. Did you feel in danger at any time yourself? Once he hit me low, but he accidentally do it. Usually hit me low, but this time he didn't. Any prediction about what might happen against Jerry Quarry in your next battle? Any prediction about what might happen with Jerry Quarry? I don't think Jerry Quarry is just rough. He just knocked out Quarry. Quarry was winning when he knocked him out, but Quarry is a good fighter, and I think a true champion should fight everybody, every month if have to, and no tricks, no gimmicks. Okay. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. So there it is, as Muhammad Ali
So Muhammad Ali dispatches George Chuvalo for the second time and did so with relative ease, as he usually did in those days with the opponents he fought. For George Chuvalo, this was pretty much the end of his career in terms of big fights. But as the Canadian fans look back on it, they had to know that George gave him a lot of important fights, and he gave him a lot of thrills. He fought the likes of Joe Frazier, George Foreman, Jimmy Ellis, and of course Muhammad Ali. And for George Chuvalo, it was a career made up of being a bridesmaid, but a good bridesmaid. For Muhammad Ali, of course, lots would remain in his career, still at close fights with Kenny Norton, winning the title back, losing it to Leon Spinks, and going out of boxing as one of the all-time greats. I hope you enjoyed looking at this one. Muhammad Ali, George Chuvalo. Ali beat the Washerwoman again, and as usual, he's always fun to watch. I'm Al Bernstein. We'll see you next time on Super Bowl.